So in part one of this video series, we talked about how to properly throw using just basic techniques here. But today I'm going to show you how to make a few corrections and control your speed of rotation. So if you're having problems with the hawk or your axe, because the same applies either way, under or over rotating, here's some corrections you can use. Now again, this is a CRKT rune. It's at a 12-inch overall length, so it's a pretty short little hawk. I'm using the hawk this length because, well, it's my preferred little thrower, but also because it's easier to demonstrate this on camera than I would with a longer hawk, because I need a little bit further range and be able to get all that in my frame there. So we kind of talked about throwing at 12 feet last time. Now that's generally about the rule of thumb, but I can certainly throw from closer range. Now let's ignore the spike on the back and let's just talk about the blade. So if yours does not have a spike on the back and you're just trying to stick the blade here, here's techniques that'll still work for you. So let's say I'm throwing here from a little bit closer. I'm not all the way back there at 12 feet. I'm here. I'm about maybe 6 feet or so. All right. So, all right. You guys can see that. Again, that almost over-rotated because I was over-snapping my wrist there, but it did stick in almost like that. So, kind of demonstrates that there. If we actually get a little bit closer there, probably try the same technique, and it might stick a little better. There you go. So, you all can see that stuck blade first, did a complete rotation in the course of only about 4 feet there. So if I was going to back up a little bit, but I wasn't going to go to my full 12-foot throwing distance where I was throwing my thumb across the spine here, I can maybe throw here from around 9 feet, and I can just kind of go to a normal throw, but I'm going to keep my thumb off the spine. Now this does eliminate a little bit of control that I have in my throw, but it does allow it to spin a little bit faster, because that thumb, what that's actually doing is slowing down that rotation a little bit. It's also helping to control your aim, but it's slowing down slowing down that throw because your thumb is riding across the spine and kind of applying pressure on your release. Let's do it without that real quick and show you how that works. And there you go. Again, that almost over rotated, but it's still stuck just fine. Okay. So now I'm going to kind of go back to my normal 12-foot distance here, and I'm going to throw with my thumb along the spine here. See how that goes. All right, now that was pretty much a perfect throw, slightly left the center. Okay. Now I could even go back a little bit further, and I'm going to reposition my camera here and kind of show you all that. Back to about 18 feet here, which is a really long distance for a 12-inch hawk. To do one rotation in, that is. Typically, guys that are throwing something this short at that distance will either just expect to stick the spike, or they'll actually throw it backwards if it doesn't have a spike. So I'm going to go and try to do one rotation from this distance and see if we can't do that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm not going to grip here all the way at the bottom. I'm actually going to come up about 1 inch. And this will change based on the length of your hawk handle. Now, if you had a 16-inch hawk, for example, this would be a pretty natural throwing distance. 18-inch would actually be even a little bit better. But if you're throwing with something this short, about 1 inch from the bottom, something a little bit longer, you might have to go up a couple inches in order to slow it down. If I were to go up much higher than that, I would really lose all control of this thing, because I'd be up above the center of rotation, or the center of gravity on this particular hawk. And I'm really, on this throw, I'm really going to apply a lot of pressure with my thumb also on the release. So gripping about 1 inch higher, which is going to slow down the rotation, and applying a lot of pressure with that thumb. Let's see how that works. See if I can't make this thing stick from about 18 feet here. And there it is. One rotation. Now as you can see, because again I'm gripping a little higher, and I'm not releasing my natural stance, I do lose a little bit of control that way, but I'll still be able to get one full rotation in one stick. With a little practice, I can dial those right in. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. For part 3, and maybe I'll talk about accuracy or something else. Let me know what you guys are interested in. Hope you all enjoyed this. Have a good day.